Welcome back to Gym Talk. My name is Nisi G. If you're new here, I'm from Platinum Gang. I just kind of want to start this topic off by saying like this is something that I have just newly discovered. So bear with me as I take you on this crazy journey that I have been discovering here lately. For those of you that are new here, again, my name is Nisi G. I have been a mindset mentor for about 2 years now, and I've been a master cosmetologist for 18 years. So I've had coaching clients and hair clients from all over the world. It's amazing. I'm extremely blessed. I'm extremely excited to cover this topic on astral projection with you guys today and spirituality as a whole. And you'll see me kind of looking down at my notes today just because I want to make sure that I cover everything. Let me give you guys a little bit of a backstory though when it comes to how I got into astral projection and things like that. So I had an ex-boyfriend pass away a couple months ago earlier this year, and I didn't know that he had passed away. And he and I were really, really good friends. And mind you, I'm 36, so I have to be 37 years old. So let's start there. And I dated him when I was in hair school when I was 18 years old. So there's that. It's not like we had an adult relationship, but he wanted to. And we were very well connected. He was one of my best friends. I shared everything with him. On my journey of manifestation and learning about law of assumption and the universe and all these things, he was right there with me. I would give him book recommendations. He was just really my best friend. And I had recently stopped talking to him because he confessed, his feelings or whatever. And I was like, okay, I don't need to continue on with this friendship right now because I really respect my boyfriend. And I'm only telling you guys this backstory so you can understand the closeness of our friendship. So you can kind of understand how I got on this journey of astral projection and him kind of being my guide, I guess you could say. So I'm going to try to make the story as short as possible so we can get on to the bigger picture here. Nonetheless, I started waking up in the middle of the night back in August, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, could not sleep. I had so much stress going on. I was, I'm currently also a medical assistant, and I was working at this major corporation in dermatology, and I was not happy. And I was only doing that because my end goal is to own a salon and a med spa. And in the state of California, you have to have a nurse practitioner or, your MD to own a med spa. Anyway, so I just wasn't fulfilled. I was going through a lot at the time. And my businesses were really suffering from it. And so I'm looking for guidance, looking for answers, looking for anything that would make sense. And I kept having these vivid dreams about him, so much so that I would wake up out of my sleep, cold sweat, oh my God, what? Oh my God, what's okay? I'm going to call him. I'm going to reach out. And fast forward to August, his sister had messaged me and was on Instagram. I was like, hey, haven't heard from you. I just wanted to see how you were holding up since my brother. I was like, what? Since your brother? What is going on? And in the past, he had gotten in trouble and things like that when we were younger. So I'm thinking it's something like that. And he didn't follow my hair page because he'd always say, no offense, I don't want to look at hair stuff. So he didn't follow my hair page, and I had deactivated my personal Instagram. So I went and looked at his Instagram page and saw all these RIP posts and stuff like that. And it shocked me. It devastated me because I could feel his energy. When I would wake up out of these dreams, or he would whisper my name and I would wake up in a cold sweat. And before other people come for me and say, don't answer that. I'm Southern. I was born and raised in Georgia. I'm very well aware of different entities and things like that. I already know about all that. But I would wake up in the middle of the night, just in cold sweats, or him trying to talk to me, or him communicating with me. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to, because I do believe in telepathy. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. I'll reach out tomorrow. I'll check on you tomorrow. And I just kept putting it off. And mind you, this is in August. So when I had spoke to his sister on the phone, she's like, no, he passed away in June. And I don't want to get into like the ins and outs of like how it happened, but it happened. And I was like, oh my God, this is why I've been having these like nudges to like reach out to him. And so I had started just like having these conversations. So like in Christianity, you know, we're taught to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. And for those of you that are not into religion and things like that, just bear with me. Like, let's just be respectful and mindful of people that believe certain things and people that don't. I'm all about respect. I'm all about welcoming everyone. So please don't think that like we're going to have some church lesson. That's not what this is. But I was born and raised Baptist Christian, and I do believe in the Bible, and I believe in it in a way of it's a guide to teach you how to create your own life and reality the way that you want it to be. Just like Neville Goddard, just like Reverend Ike. So relax, don't come for me. Anyways, in the Bible, it teaches us to be absent from the body means to be present with the Lord, right? Back to source, back to the universe, back to that one consciousness energy, because we're all one consciousness. We're just experiencing it from different perspectives, which I think is beautiful. And so I was having these dreams, whatever, and I was like, okay, let me talk to her. I talked to her, got off the phone with her. I told her what happened. So I started asking like questions, and it would be to the point to where I would get an answer back. And this answer would like, I could like, let's say I wanted to ask him like, what should I eat for breakfast today? Should I like, and I'm just using this as an example, you guys, this is not like the type of stuff I was asking, but I'm just using it as an example. So I'd be like, okay, what should I eat for breakfast today? Whatever. And then literally I would get on TikTok or turn the TV on and see a commercial or whatever. And they'd be like, you should eat this for a balanced, nutritious meal, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? This is crazy. Like, there's no way this is, and a lot of people that are listening to this are going to be like, this girl is batshit. Whatever. Believe what you want to believe. I don't care. And I would like ask these questions out loud, get an answer. Or like, and he has a very, very, very unique name. And I would like hear this name or hear the meaning of it. So I was like, okay, what is, and so I finally just got fed up with it. And I was like, if you're trying to show me something or tell me something, just show me or tell me. Because your girl is, I'm over it. And so one night I go to sleep, and people, there are different types of people. There are some people that believe in astral projection. There's some people that don't. There are some people that believe that when you astral project, you don't see your body, you don't do this, like then you didn't astral project. Listen, I'm telling you my personal experience on what happened to me. Again, we're all one consciousness experiencing itself from different perspectives. And again, astral projection is still fairly new to me. It's only been a couple months, so don't get your panties in a wad. Relax. At any rate, one night I was going to sleep, and I have this cool little LED like lamp looking thing in my room. It's like little balls, little LED balls. And I was just staring at that, drifting off to sleep. And then I could hear like this voice or like feeling of wanting to like be greeted with him, because I started getting these downloads, and these downloads would be basically like, you know, like you can't see everything that's going on around you with the naked human eye. Like if we could see all the energies and things and colors that were going on around us, our brain can't comprehend, but so much. We're designed to only comprehend, but so much. So anyways, I'm drifting off to sleep, and I start to feel myself pull away from my body. And I wasn't afraid or anything. I was just like, this is cool. And I went, and like I could see myself sleeping or feel myself sleeping. I was aware that like I was like my physical form, let's call it the avatar. The avatar was there. And then I'm separate from the avatar. My energy, my soul, source, whatever name you want to slap on it, slap on it. But I had separated from it. And I'm like, okay, I want to go see the hospitals. I want to go see, like, because I've always been into like spooky stuff. Sorry, I needed some water. I've always been into like spooky stuff and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, I want to go to the hospital. Like, are there other like entities? Because like, you know, you hear people having surgery and like they have an out of body experience or whatever. So I'm like, I want to go there. I want to see like what type of out of body experience they're having, because I want to have fun with it. And you know, it just speaks volumes about my personality. So I'm like, yeah, I want to go have fun with it, whatever. And so then I started traveling. And then there's this girl comes with me, and I meet her, and she has the presence of a grown adult woman, but she looks like a 10-year-old kid. And at any rate, I'm sitting here and I'm talking to her. She's walking me through everything, and she's like, yeah, you know, like, do you want to go see him? She's like explaining to me like how everything is everywhere all at once. And I know that's a movie title. I've seen it. It's amazing. And you'll hear me reference that movie and Interstellar and the show Dark Matter. Like, there's a lot of things that I am into. At any rate, she's like my guide. And she's teaching me about astral projection. She's teaching me about spirituality, oneness, all this stuff. And so she takes me to like this tribe. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen the show La Brea, but La Brea was a TV show. I really enjoyed it. It got canceled. I do not know why. But I had watched the TV show La Brea, and basically like they had fallen through this hole in the ground, and then they ended up falling onto this grass. But when they look up, they're like, and maybe I'll insert a clip here. For those of you that are listening, this will also be uploaded onto YouTube. So you'll be able to like see the visuals if you want to see. But it,
and then they were just on. I got you. I got you. Oh! Where the hell are we? The place doesn't seem real, does it?
Run! Anyways, they're like in a firmament type thing. And they fall through the ground, and they look up and they're like, wait, how did we fall through the ground but we see the sky? Like, what is happening? Like, are we in the upside down? Like, they're just trying to figure it out. So lo and behold, some extinct animal walks by, and they're like, where are we? And somebody says, not where are we, but when are we, right? And so then they meet these people in this tribe, and it's like this advanced civilization, and they don't realize it's advanced. So that's kind of what happened to me when I met up with my friend. I don't want to keep calling him my ex, with my friend. And when I saw him, he didn't look physically the same. Like, he's not in that body anymore. He had a brainy body, grown man, and he had on like this almost like Aztec type outfit on, or like something they would wear in like Egypt. I don't know. I can't, like the Mayans, like just picture that type of stuff. And I'll try to like find a photo that's similar and insert it here. Nonetheless, I saw him, and when I recognized him, he kind of looked at me like this, like, do I know you? And I was like, yeah, we know each other, and I've been looking for you, and you've been sending me messages through the dimensions, through, you know, wherever I am. And he was like, yeah, I've been feeling these, like, this person getting these downloads. And like I sit and I have this beautiful conversation with him, and I'm overwhelmed because he explains to me that time is not measured the way that we think time is measured. So we look at time like this, like it's on a line, like a straight line, meaning it's linear. We go from like the 1400s, the 1500s, the 1600s, the 1700s, the 1800s, so on and so forth. But that's not the way time works. The way he explains to me is that time is on like a grid, like this. And I'm going to try to insert some visuals for you guys so you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So he's like, time is like on a grid. He was like, you live in the 3D reality. You're on a grid. And the best way that I can describe it to you is like, right now I'm in my 3D reality, right? Like, I can pick up my laptop, I can pick up my phone, I can touch my 3D reality. But for you that are people that are watching this, you see me in a 2D reality on your device that you're looking at. So that's the best way that I can describe it. And those dimensions go higher up and higher up. For those of you that are, listening, you're listening to me on whatever device that you're on, and that's just a wavelength of sound and motion and energy and motion. So that wavelength is out there forever, just like the Wi-Fi signal, just like the radio signal. So that's the way that you would think about like the 3D, the 4D, 5D, so on and so forth. So if we're on this grid, and we're just here, which is where I got this download from of us being on a loop, then that's the way that you would explore time. So let me go back. I'm going to insert a photo or video of Interstellar. It's one of my favorite movies, and he is in the Tesseract.
If you're leaving, just go.
No, don't go. Don't go, you idiot. Don't go!
Cooper? Come in, Cooper.
George,
Roger that.
you survived.
Somewhere in their fifth dimension, they saved us.
What the hell is they? And just why they want to help us, huh?
I don't know, but they constructed this three-dimensional space inside their five-dimensional reality to allow you to understand it.
Hell, that ain't working.
Yes, it is. You've seen that time is represented here as a physical dimension. You have worked out that you can exert a force across space-time.
Gravity. Just send a message.
Affirmative. They didn't bring us here to change the past.
Well, they didn't bring us here at all. We brought ourselves. Don't you get it yet, Tars? I brought myself here. They didn't choose me, they chose her.
For what, Cooper?
To save the world. All of this is one little girl's bedroom, every moment. It's infinitely complex. They have access to infinite time and space, but they're not bound by anything. They can't find a specific place in time. They can't communicate. That's why I'm here. I'm gonna find a way to tell Murph, just like I found this moment.
How, Cooper?
Love, Tars, love. It's just like Brand said. My connection with Murph, it is quantifiable. It's the key.
What are we here to do?
Find how I tell her. The watch. Dot, dot. Dash. Dot.
Dot, dash, dot, dot.
Dash. Dot, dot.
Dash, dash, dash.
Did it work?
I think it might have.
How do you know?
Because the bulk beams are closing the Tesseract.
Don't you get it yet, Tars? They're not beings. They're us. What I've been doing for Murph, they're doing for me. For all of us.
Cooper, people couldn't build this.
No, not yet. But one day. Not you and me, but a people. A civilization that's evolved past the 4 dimensions we know. What happens now?
And when he's in the Tesseract, he falls into a space of a moment in time. I'm going to say that again. He falls into space in a moment in time. So he's able to maneuver in, I want to say like, what's that word that I'm looking for? He's able to manipulate that space in time and move the strings, because the way that it's chopped up, it's elongated. Because remember, if you've seen the movie, he's fallen into this black hole. He's not going back in time. He's in a loop, right? Because the cycle just kept repeating itself. So he's in this loop. So he is divided up the spaces in time, and he's able to manipulate and move that energy around to where he can get this message to Murph, and he's thinking that they did it, not realizing that a higher dimension is what has created this black hole for him. So anyways, he's explaining all of this to me, and then I have this guide with me, and she's trying to teach me how to like get back into my body. And I'm like, okay, you know, that's cool. Like, how do I do this? And she's like, you're going to feel like you are going through sleep paralysis, but it's not. Just when you hover above, just slam back into there, and then deep breath, and then you'll be fine. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me do that. And so I was like, okay, that's, you know, I can do that. So I do that. And then I'm like, well, how do I come back? Well, excuse me, before I asked her that, I said, how do I come back? And she's like, well, you come back because you can travel here whenever you want. You just have to be open to it. So a lot of people have been asking me, like, how do I astral project? Like, how do I do this thing? And I want you guys to understand that there's a difference between lucid dreaming and astral projection. And in the next episode, I want to talk to you guys about lucid dreaming, because I think that lucid dreaming is wild as well. Lucid dreaming is just when you know that you are dreaming, like you're aware that you're in the dream, and you might stop and ask someone like, hey, what time is it? Or am I dreaming? And then people will look at you like you have 5 heads, because time just does not exist there. And so anyways, she was like, everyone can astral project. Everyone can do this, but they don't get quiet enough to practice it. We're taught to just survive off of dopamine hits. And you're like, okay, I'm going to do mindlessly scroll on the internet. I'm going to do what makes me feel good right now, which is a dopamine hit. And in my first podcast episode, I talked to you guys about why you should move away from those dopamine hits, because they don't serve you. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, because we're all one consciousness experiencing itself from different perspectives. That's all it is. That's all it is. And the faster you can wrap your brain around just that single concept, the easier it will be. And so I'm asking her, the guide, like, hey, when can I come back? And she's like, you can come back whenever you want. So the second time I did it, I sat with him, which felt like hours. And when I first started doing this, you guys, I was so exhausted, like wanting to sleep for days, like 2 days. Like I would just be like depleted. I had no energy. But now that I know how to like properly do this and like, you know, come back or whatever, like now that I've practiced it more, I guess you should say, now I don't feel so like drained or depleted when I do it. So anyways, the second time I go, I ask him about like, where do you go when you pass on? And he basically says, we just go to a different dimension. Like, because I asked him, I'm getting ahead of the game. Sorry, my ADHD is kicking in. But I had asked him before, I was like, how are you a grown adult? And you just passed away in my 3D reality. Like, how is that? Doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't you be a baby? Like, wouldn't you be born? Shouldn't you be like a brand new baby right now? And he was like, no, because your perception of time is not correct. If everything is happening on a loop and everything is happening everywhere all at once simultaneously, just like in the Apple TV show Dark Matter, if you have not watched that, I advise you to check it out. He's like, everything is happening everywhere all at once simultaneously. So like, you are looking at it like I need to be born and there's still a timeline. There's no timeline. I've always been here. And I'm like, yeah, but isn't your soul one? Like, what wouldn't you be in one body, like so on and so forth? And he's like, no, I'm everywhere all at once. Because we're all one source energy. We're all one state of consciousness. And so I'm like, okay, I get that. And it took me a second to like really grasp it, because your brain literally just wants to explode. It doesn't want to accept this as reality, but it is. And I'm being as candid and as transparent as I can be. Some people might think I am a wackadoodle, and that is fine. But that is the downloads that I've been getting. And so I'm like, okay, you know, that's cool. So are you going to go on and live another life? And he's like, yeah, I'm already in one. So I'm like, okay. So does that mean that like 1999 me is still reliving that day? And he's like, yeah. Yes, like it's happening over and over and over and over again. And then you are in another timeline, like another dimension, in another dimension. So there's just like different levels of the dimension. So I'm like, okay. So when you pass on, you're just present with one source energy, right? And he's like, yes, absolutely. And so I want to break this down into a series about astral projection, lucid dreaming, time, and because it helped me understand manifestation a lot better. And look, your girl always been good at manifesting, okay? I'm just saying I've gotten a lot better at understanding the how, because there is a version of you that already has what it is that you desire. You just have to pull that version that has what it is to you. That's all you're doing, because you're on that loop. And what I mean by that is that if you could stretch out time again, like you could see my hand moving back and forth in the camera, right? For those of you that are watching visually, you can see my hand. But if I were to stretch the time out of my hand, you would see the nail, this, like, and it would be chopped up like this, like vertically. And you're pulling it, you're elongating it out like a slinky. So I know that the other end of the slinky exists, aka my desire. All I have to do is just expand it, or drop it into my 3D reality for me to experience it. Well, how do I do that? It's the feeling of what you think that thing is going to give you. I remember when I wanted this new iPhone, and I was like, I really want this new iPhone. I want a big one. I want to be able to like answer emails, because I also do bridal and things like that. And I'm like, I want to be able to answer emails comfortably. I don't want to be looking at like a small screen and trying to like tag, like my nails were super long at the time. So I'm like, I don't want to be doing all that. And now that I have the phone, I'm not like super fixated on it, because I have it, right? So same thing. The feeling that I thought I was going to get was like comfort, freedom, being able to like answer my business faster. So that's what that thing gave me. You think love is going to give you security or stability or partnership. So give that feeling to yourself. You think that money is going to solve all of your problems, and it might. Okay, but what problems would it solve? Would you feel free? Would you be able to pay off some debt? Would you be able to take your family on a vacation? What does that feel like? What does financial abundance feel like? Neville Goddard teaches us that feeling is the secret, and I'm a firm believer in that. Everybody that wants to sit around and affirm and affirm and affirm, that's great. And I do believe that you're going to get what you desire by doing that. However, you're not going to be able to maintain it and keep it because you didn't address your core foundational beliefs. At any rate, in the next video or podcast episode, I want to talk about lucid dreaming and how you're aware that you're dreaming. It's my intention that this has helped you in some way. And if you have any questions, just let me know. If you are interested in mentorship or coaching, you can just click the link that'll be below or shoot me an email. And I do have the full self-concept workbook still available, but my newest ebook or e-guide, is about nervous system regulation. Nervous system regulation is what really helped me learn how to astral project, because I was able to calm my central nervous system down. That one is about 22 pages. It's only $35. Click the link, scroll down, download it, and it'll download immediately to whatever device you're on. But I will see you guys in the next episode.